All right.
Dude, welcome back.
Welcome back to Shards and Shenanigans.
Just another episode.
Just another episode of the Wheel of the Well, even of Ascension.
Dude, I was like, I don't think this is right.
The Wheel of Time. Nope.
Yeah. I think, you know what? That's okay. I think I did that a couple episodes ago.
I think so, too. Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. We like them both around here. So
We do.
Welcome back, everybody. We are jumping in chapter 36. And we're hoping to get through 37 and 38 today.
Ooh, good ones.
Setting us up for the end of part 3 here. So our next episode can hit part 4 running. So trying to finish out part 3, King.
Mm-hmm.
We read it, and now it's time to record it.
Yeah, that's right. We read it, record it. Well, is there anything you want to get into before we start? Anything special? Special announcements?
Our apartment building almost burned down today, but it didn't.
Yeah.
So that was rad.
Nice.
Other special announcements. Finish up school for the semester.
Woo!
That was great. So I got more
go.
time to record and read. Love that.
Love it.
And then I really think the only thing is that this episode, little, what do you call that? Well, just a little warning. I've got some, did my normal notes, as we talked about, for chapter 36, did not get to notes for 37 and 38.
Ooh.
Which means we're going back to the old way of doing the podcast from season 1, where I just kind of winged it. And it took a long time. So, we will see. Maybe that's going to go great, and maybe we'll trash this whole episode. Who knows?
Who knows? Only the editors know. Wait, that's us.
And they're making lots of money.
Yeah.
$0.
Yeah.
I wish we were making money.
Yeah, me too.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be cool. But that's all right.
That is all right. Yeah,
we do it for fun.
Yeah, we do it. We do it for ourselves, and then we do it for you.
We do it for us, and then we do it for our moms, then we do it for you.
Yeah. Good. Yep. Mm-hmm. Go moms. Shout out.
Yep.
All right.
Shout out.
Well,
can you just go ahead? 36. All these chapters start with a snack, and a little snacky, attacky read through from you for 36 is exactly what I need.
Dude. Well, I'm here to deliver some fresh snacks. Alendi was never the hero of ages. At best, I have amplified his virtues, creating a hero where there was none. At worst, I fear that all we believe may have been corrupted. End quote. Ooh.
There you go. Pretty similar to some other snacks and everything else I feel like we're reading on this metal plate that Seiza took the rubbing from. The rubbing, rather. So, yeah, I don't really have any comments.
Yeah, no, I think it's interesting, the corrupted part. I wonder what that's like hinting at. I think some of the other snacks on this episode might touch on some similar pieces, or at least parts of it. So, yeah, cool. Okay. Well, shall we get this ball rolling?
If it's a cheese ball, because that was a snack, and now we're rolling into a ball of... I don't know. What's another ball-shaped food?
Ball-shaped food, like a bread roll, a bread bun, like a soup bread bun.
A bread bowl.
Bread bowl. Damn it, I said bread bun. That's stupid. Let's see here.
That's not stupid. No, let's go with bread bowl.
Bread bowl.
So we're jumping on this bread bowl here. Chapter 36. It's from Panera. Hashtag sponsored. Hashtag not really.
Hashtag
and
Panera.
Chapter 36. Sazed. Starting out with our man Sazed is in the old weapons warehouse from the Revolution, where all the refugees that Straff had pushed towards the city, they're here, they're recovering, they're just trying to live. And he's kind of working through the crowd, working to heal them, calm them as they recover from their journey and the attack by the Koloss army. He really wants to share some of his religions with them, but he thinks better of it. It was easier in the past when the Lord Ruler was around and they had something to rebel against. But bringing up these like long dead religions to these people isn't going to ease their pain. If anything, they're going to be like, "How's that going to help me, buddy? I need food. I need clothes. My kid's sick. Get that religion out of here." So, kind of I think a little reality check for Sazed, but his main squeeze, Tindwyl, comes in, and I guess we don't know that at this point, but we had some suspicions, and so she says, "Hey, Sazed, you've been here all day." He's like, "Yeah, but I'm the best to look over these people," which is probably true. And we also see Breeze is here hanging out, and he's been soothing the crowd, calming their nerves, bringing their fright down, which is great. Good on him, Breeze. Mm-hmm. And so Sazed's thinking about what's going to happen to these people, especially when the siege ends and the war begins. And Tindwyl basically says, "Hey, you look tired." Asks him why he isn't using his bronze mind. And he says, "Well, I had to use it up to run here. I was so excited." And he doesn't have any of that wakefulness stored up and says,
"Right.
Hey, I was eager to get here." And she goes, "Okay, fine. You've convinced me. Show me what you've been working on." And he is jacked about that. He is so excited. He's like, "Really? You wanna come into the garage and see what I've been working on?"
Yep.
And he says, "I would love to show you." And we get a perspective change to Breezy. He's watching these two, and he knows something is up. And he's kind of been pushing them. And so as they leave together, he congratulates himself. And he's got lots of thoughts about soothing going on, and he's thinking of it like it's no more invasive than, in his example, a woman wearing a low-cut gown, or maybe someone speaking in a commanding tone or commanding voice. Mm-hmm. That's what he kind of compares soothing to. And so in this instance, he made Sazed less fatigued and soothed his pain so he could perform better for these people. And he soothed Tindwyl's sense of responsibility and her disappointment when she saw Sazed. But Breeze, this is in quotes, but Breeze had not created the emotions that the disappointment had been overshadowing. Emotions like curiosity, respect, and love, end quote. Spicy, spicy, Breeze. So if it was mind control, he's thinking Tindwyl would turn away from Sazed the second they got out of Breeze's sphere of influence.
Right.
But it's not, right? Like they are going to leave together, and that's that. So
totally.
He's sending out these general soothing waves for the crowd. He's got a book in his hand, and he's finding the book boring. Doesn't know how Ellen and these other, members of the crew here like to read. Doesn't get it. And he's really spending his time here now while he's soothing, trying to figure out what these people are feeling. It's almost like this game for him. And you can't really just know. It takes observational talent. And I think we've gotten this from him and some other Allomancers before where, whether you're soothing someone or you're riding someone, like it might not just be about like this blanket, like, yep, feel mad or feel like you have to have some intuition and have some basic understanding of how to read people, how to read their emotions, how to read their physicality and how that physicality is carrying these emotions forward and being able to kind of decipher all that, filter through it, and then apply the right soothing or riding or, whichever Allomancer's doing it. And so I think it touches on that again here. And I think it's a good reminder that, like, it's not just this, like, power. You really have to be skilled and versed.
Right.
And some other things besides just the power.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I like that.
Me too.
So we get more focus here on Sazed and Tindwyl. He's thinking through this and thinks, well, others think that they are enemies. he sees that the bitterness and frustration that they have comes from something else, ...
Ooh.
And he goes, isn't Sazed supposed to be a Munich? How's that supposed to work?
Yeah.
So, like, he knows, right? Like, he knows something's going on there, that they've, there's some kind of past that might need rekindling. So, Ellen and Ham walk in, and Bree starts in on Ellen's emotions right away, makes him less tired, more certain, but he mentions that he hasn't had to work on certainty much on Ellen lately because he's being very confident. He's confident in his choices.
Yeah.
And
Tinwell teachings.
Tinwell's she's done a good thing on him. And then, I mean, the best part of this is, he pushes Ham to be less argumentative because he doesn't want to deal with them right now.
That's hilarious.
And so Ellen's looking for Sazed. Sazed just left, and Ellen tells Ham here, hey, round up all the clothing merchants, bring them here to this warehouse, show them what's going on. These people need clothes. Their prices are exorbitant because of the siege. Once they see this, he thinks they're going to change their minds and clothe the people. We'll see. But Ham doesn't really like this idea. Breeze can see how non-confrontational Ham is, which is strange considering his argumentative nature.
Right.
And then a quick time warp. Breeze is now walking into the palace, and he's meeting with Clubs in the kitchens.
Yep.
In a booth here. And so Breeze confirmed, hey, Clubs has his cloud up, his copper cloud, and this is basically making Clubs immune to Breeze. Breeze cannot soothe Clubs.
Right.
And they're here to drink. And he wants this cloud up because he can take a break. He can take a breather. He's expressing here to Clubs that it's exhausting, constantly touching people's emotions, and even, yes, when he's ordered to or asked to as part of the crew, but even just when he's walking in the streets or he's around his friends, he can't help but doing it. And here he can actually relax and just feel like himself. And with women, he doesn't like being with them because he wants someone to love him for him, essentially. Like, I want you to see me for me, Not because he's touching their emotions, which is actually very sweet and sincere. And Clubs basically is like the damn soothers, but says Breeze is not as bad as most
the
of
other
the
ones.
soothers that he knows.
That's like a high compliment coming from Clubs.
Yeah, super. Oh,
You're not as bad as everybody else.
Clubs. So Breeze wonders how they ended up here. He joined Kells for the challenge, right? And Clubs joined Kells here for the money. And why did they stick around? And Clubs said basically everything's going to fail here within a month for Ellen and the crew. And, but he says Kelsier kind of gave us the city, and then he made us feel responsible for it and to protect it. And Breeze is like, but we're thieves. How did it even come to this? And I quote, I've gotten so bad that I soothe scullery maids so that they'll have a happier time at work. I might as well start dressing in pink and carrying around flowers. I could probably make quite a bundle at weddings, end quote. So I think that just touches a little bit on his heightened state and kind of how active he is in soothing, and why I think this decompression time with Clubs, one of his friends, is so important to him. So they cheers to the survivor here. And Club says, may he be damned for knowing us better than we know ourselves. And then our good old girl, Alrian, pops in. And she's been looking for Breeze, LOL. And Breeze kind of has this desire raging through him. But he knows she's half his age, and he's trying to kick himself mentally for having these kinds of thoughts. It's kind of plays it off like, hey, shouldn't you be in bed, kiddo? And she just slides in right next to him, cuddles up next to him, takes a drink from his cup, puts an arm around her shoulder. And Clubs is just kind of shaking his head. And perspective change, Vin, who is now spying on the group, So our little Mistborn spy is spying on Clubs and Breeze and Alarion, and she immediately is like, Alarian's an Allomancer. I know that she is. She is rioting Breeze's emotions ever since she arrived, and she's trying to get him to like her more. And Orsurge, who's here with her because they're inseparable, thinks, well, Breeze would have noticed this, right? Like, he's been doing this a long time, and Vin thinks that Breeze must have already had some kind of attraction, to Alarion, and so he's kind of thinking that this kind of stuff is coming,
like naturally,
like natural to him,
right?
Which is scaring him. So, Vin obviously determines here Clubs is in the Khandra. He's got his copper cloud up. We're still on the hunt here for the Khandra, second Khandra, obviously, and. She's so good with her allomancy, she can feel the copper pulses coming from Clubs, and she thinks like it's like her and the Lord Ruler are the only people that could ever remotely do that.
Right.
And Orsur asks, "Hey, like, didn't you already decide that Dumo was the spy?" And she goes, "Well, yeah, I wanna check on Clubs before I do something drastic. And now it's time to do something drastic.
Yeah.
Time to put Dumo in prison." That's what she says.
Yeah.
Or Damu. And we time warp in Vin's perspective. We're outside of Dumo's rooms. A servant who she had set to watch him said that he had left and she didn't follow because he went out on patrol. Had left a few minutes ago. So Vin and Orsur, they're in hot pursuit. They jump out the window. Ask some soldiers in the courtyard. They say, "Yep, we just saw him a minute ago. He went that way." And Vin follows, finds him in the mists. Throws a coin down, flies up high, and follows. And she's got her daggers out, which is like, you don't even really have proof of anything. And she's like getting ready to, like, are you getting ready to assassinate this guy? Like, what's actually going to happen?
Right.
And she has those thoughts like, hey, I haven't even proved this yet. Like, maybe I need to follow him some more. And she sees this fire a few streets over and can tell that he's heading there and follows him there and finds a small bonfire in a square. And there's a group of about 200 ska hanging out. And they're in the mists because it's night. And this is unusual for the ska. And Dumo goes into preacher mode. Starts telling the group that they shouldn't fear the mists. The survivor taught us this. Survivor gave these mists to us. We have to remember him through them. It's actually very preachy. And Vin realizes, he is a member of the Church of the Survivor. And that's where he's been sneaking off to.
Secret church.
And so, they're asking their reverend, Dumo, well, is the Lady Air going to protect us? And he's like, yes, she will. She's even more powerful than the Survivor was. And Vin's not liking this. She thinks this is all irrational talk.
Shut up.
And he says that she's going to bring them peace someday. She's going to bring back the sun.
What?
She's going to stop the ash. But we just have to survive until then. And tells the group to tell their assemblymen that represent them that they don't want Penrod, they don't want Set. The Survivor chose Elend, and that's who we need to follow. And this kind of surprised Vin to hear too.
Right.
So Vin has doubts about this group. She thinks that it's not even really a religion.
Right.
It's not complex enough to be a religion. But she's kind of grown here, which I love this, to understand that these basic concepts that Dumo's teaching and preaching is really what these people need to carry on and get through their days, right? Like, they don't need these rituals and prayers. They're just looking for hope, and in a very trying time. And
yeah, definitely.
So she's confused about the stopping the ash part and bringing the sun back because she doesn't really know where he came up with that. And Dumo's even describing to the people flowers and green plants, which she knows are only in these obscure texts. And that's
and
she knew them through Kelsier, basically, right?
Kelsier's drawing that he had. Yep, of the flower.
So, she barely knows about this. So, how does he know? And who's where'd he get that info? So,
right.
Vin asked Orsur about these preachings. about the preachings that he made, I should say, when he took over Kelsier's body the night of the uprising back in the Final Empire.
Right.
And it was really basic stuff that Kelsier had him doing, going around telling, the Ska, going to the slums, saying, hey, it's like the time for the rebellion has come. He was trying to give them hope for victory, and was trying to, in Vin's head, she's starting to think of Kelsier and him saying, "I am hope," and like you can't kill hope, right?
Right.
And but nothing about the Sun Rash though. He does not recognize that.
Yeah,
so
right. It's very personal, right?
Yeah, it is personal. And Vin drops behind Dumo as he's walking away from the group and surprises him and kind of confronts him. And he like spins and he's kind of scared. He's got his hand on his dueling cane. And she's like, what are you doing out here? Like, I didn't know you were a believer. And through their conversation, she's like, oh, he is like, this dude really believes. He's a true believer. And he mentions when Kelsier was helping him battle in the caverns.
Yeah.
And the power and strength he could feel flowing through and like guiding his sword and its strength. Like, that was all very impactful for Dumo and really set a precedent for his beliefs going forward.
Oh, yeah.
And
makes sense. It just makes sense.
Yeah. And so, I mean, wrapping it up here, Dumo said that the destruction of the army outside of the caverns was a test, and that this current army and the sieges, these are all just tests to see if they will survive. And she asks him directly about the ash and the sun, and Dumo's like, well, that's what the survivor taught us. Like, right? Didn't he? And Vince shakes her head, no. And he goes, well, everyone's talking about it. And he doesn't really know where he heard it, but everybody's talking about it. And so she sends him back to the palace, turns back to Ursur, and says she was so sure before that was Dumo, but now she isn't. We're going to keep an eye on him. He's still on our radar, but we need to go check on Elend and keep our search going. And that's the end of 36.
Yeah, dun, dun, dun. Big reveals. Great chapter. I really like this one. It's a lot of fun to just to, like sneaking around with Ursur is a good time, and Vin's kind of like got these touch points with the crew from the outside, and you can kind of see how she's like working her nightly prowls and information gathering and stuff. I loved getting into the mind of Breeze again, or maybe for the first time. I can't remember if there's ever been a perspective in Breeze's perspective specifically before, but I loved it.
Oh.
It was so fun, and like I think it just brings a little bit something extra to his character, and I liked what he had to say about soothing, and it kind of like I think we kind of needed it, because otherwise, like, without getting into his head, he just seems like an asshole on the outside, like pretty easily, and I think that's definitely intentional. And yeah. Anyways,
no, I think that's great to touch on, and like just both from what he's talking about when he was in the warehouse, but especially what he was talking about when he was meeting with clubs, and he's saying like, "Hey, like I can't even be around women because I'm afraid they don't like me for me. It's just what I my powers, right?" Yeah,
totally. And I think just his desire for honesty and openness, and I think that's why he likes being around Vin and Kelsier, because they didn't like see him necessarily that way, and as well as I think that was interesting, and then the Ariane thing is also kind of interesting. Her coming in there, and if she's an Alamancer or not. Like, what do you think? You think that she is? Because like I thought they were in a copper cloud, so was she like weren't they in a copper cloud when he was hanging out with clubs? So then, like, could she have been rioting him or soothing him? I don't know. I don't think so.
That's a good point. Yeah, so, or maybe it's just Yeah,
in
like a
general.
generalization. Yeah.
Well, you could say like since she's been
like,
here, yeah. So it might be
Yeah.
like at that moment. Yeah,
That's a good
that could
point.
be true. So yeah, no, I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Ariane's like, what's the deal with Ariane? I think there's still kind of like a big question mark for her at this point for me. And then, yeah, I don't know. It was good. What about you, man?
No, I think, yeah, I pretty much agree with everything you're saying. It was good to see a Bree's perspective and get some of his info and like perspective on his abilities and kind of just learn more about him because everything
it's like his truth, he's just kind of told like Breeze's truth, which is
everyone's cool. Like, oh, he's this playboy and this does what he wants, and he's got more depth than that, so that was good. And then I think on the other half of the chapter, Dumo's probably not Arcandra.
Yeah,
and Clubs is in Arcandra, right? So
right.
Like, who have we knocked off so far, right? Like, so we know it's not Breeze. I think she already tested him, right?
Yep. She tested Breeze.
Clubs. She went to...
Did we test Spook? I can't remember.
Know.
I honestly can't remember. But Ham we tested because he reacted, and then I thought she had made up her mind about Dachshund.
Yep, from their conversation, he remembered their direct conversation,
very personal conversation. Yeah. So I think that that feels good. And then who else? Yeah. Oh well, I guess Ellen technically is still an option. I think it's when she's decided that she can't stomach the reality of that, but I don't think we've also ruled him out in any way.
But I also think if a Khandra had taken over Ellen, the Khandra would have made some more direct moves for Straff to be able to get this. He would have just been yes, here's the city.
Really? He's going to go and piss off Straff and threaten him in his own camp, with Ben.
Right.
Yeah. Well, okay. That's a good point, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Well, cool. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll read and find out. Actually, I do know, but I mean, at this time with this read, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So, well, I could get us another snack here. 37.
Dude, we'll see how this goes. I'm a little nervous about not having notes. I feel like it's like these jittery things of man, it's been a while since I've done this, so we'll see how it goes. Dude, hit me with the snack.
These are some good ones to vibe on.
I'm just going to call it.
Oh, dude, are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I think so. I would prefer to have my typed out notes organized and rip through them like I have been. I think it's going to sound cleaner.
All right.
So that's just my bad.
Oh, dude. It's all good, bro.
The week has been interesting.
Yeah, I get that. Well, this is the end of the first part of the
Part 1
podcast. This is the end of the first part of the podcast. Boop, 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 beep, beep, bop, 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 boop, boop.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
Welcome back.
Yep, we're jumping in here.
Oh, yes. Yeah, right. We're jumping right in to 37. And so I've got a snack for you.
Please.
And so I come to the focus of my argument. I apologize. Even forcing my words into steel, sitting and scratching in this frozen cave, I am prone to ramble. All right.
So I think earlier in an earlier episode, I think we were kind of wondering, did he go with Alindy all the way to the cave? Did he did he get to the Well of Ascension with him? It wasn't very clear, and this is making me feel was this just a cave on the way, or is this...
What cave is this? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, did they find... Well, in the conventicle, that wasn't a cave. So like clearly like this was written somewhere else, and then brought here, or yeah, a lot of questions. Yeah, totally. I agree. I think I like it. It's a tasty snack.
Nice. Well, I think mealtime again.
Mealtime, roll tide, like I always say.
Yeah. You always say roll tide. That's right. Your old stomping grounds.
From somewhere.
All right. 37. We've got Sazed. He's hanging out with Tinwyll, and they've been up all night studying.
Oh boy.
And he is feeling more alive, I should say, than he has in a really long time. And Tinwyll, she's excited too, and she thinks now she has found something. And so they have a little more talk here of her 30 years of childbirthing, followed by her meteoric rise in the Synod, or Synod, and Sazed being kicked out of the Synod. And we get a passage that she's excited here from the biography of King Wednegon. He was one of basically the last people to resist against the Lord Ruler. So I'll just take it here. Quote, I spent a great deal of time with the king during his final weeks. He seemed frustrated, as one might imagine. His soldiers could not stand against the conqueror's Koloss, and his men had been beaten back repeatedly ever since Fellspire. Ooh. However, the king didn't blame his soldiers. He thought his problems came from another source, food. He mentioned this idea several times during those days. He thought that if he'd had more food, he could have held out. In this, Wednegon blamed the deepness. For though the deepness had been defeated, or at least weakened, its touch had depleted Daryl Nye's food stores, and his people could not both raise food and resist the conqueror's demon armies. In the end, that was why they fell. End quote.
Damn.
So much, I think, info in this.
Big time.
That you can really pull out, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, what are you thinking? I mean, I just love the Fellspire, 2 capitals, F and S.
2 capitals with a lowercase again on the Koloss,
Yeah, right. Yeah, totally.
And so, Lord Ruler's using his Koloss army here to conquer the world. Don't know what Fellspire is.
Nope. No idea.
And obviously reconfirming here some things about the deepness and, food production and things like that. Don't know who Daryl Nye is or what it is.
Right, yeah, if it's in like a place or, I don't know. Had depleted Daryl Nye. It has a capital. It's like a person or a place's food stores. I don't know. Hard to say. It could be either, really. Yeah.
Probably some kind of proper noun.
Yes. Well, certainly.
So, yeah, I don't know. I thought that was some good history, and I think, kind of surprised to have it here, because we don't get a ton. The Lord Ruler obviously kept things pretty tight as far as the history books go, so it was cool to, I think, reminisce here.
Yeah, it was fun. I feel like you really get into the whole theme of the scholar seeking the truth and the history and kind of jumping into it, and being there with Sazed and Tinwyll, you kind of share their passion a little bit, and their excitement is you two are excited to learn this stuff, because there's some hot truth in there. Koloss armies, what? Yeah, it's pretty sweet. So, yeah. And he calls them the demon armies, and so, that's metal and
scary for Luthadel right now.
Yeah, scary for everybody. Yeah, certainly. It's very scary. I love it. All right, well.
So, coming right off of that, Sazed basically asks, if Tinwyll thinks Vin is right, and she does, and he thinks so too. Something with the deepness was a change in the mist. And,
Right.
so they're both kind of agreeing here. And she basically tells Sazed he has found something great here with the etched metal from Quan, but she doubts that the mists are actually going to kill everyone.
Right.
And he kind of digresses, and he's just kind of like, okay. And she asks, well, why aren't you ever standing up for yourself? Why aren't you defending yourself? And she says if he was more outspoken, he could actually be leading the entire synod. And he looks into her concerned, beautiful eyes, his words, or his thoughts, and thinks, these are foolish thoughts, he told himself, looking away. You've always known that. Some things were meant for others, but never you.
Yeah.
End quote.
Yeah, precisely.
So, rolling right off of that, saying he's not a man here. And she says, well, you're more a man than anyone in the synod. And she's like, but I'm leaving today. And, she does mention here actually stopping at the other armies to talk to their leaders. So going to talk to Set, going to talk to Straff. But I mean, Set's in the city now, so she could easily just talk to him now.
Yep.
So, some reminiscing here about Elend and thinking of him fondly. And Sazed doesn't really say anything to this, her saying that she's leaving, and he kind of eventually goes, well, you must go. And she's pissed.
Right.
He's not picking up what she's putting down, and why won't he ask her to stay? Basically,
he wasn't
right?
smelling what she was stepping in.
Nope.
Nope. Do.
It's they are going back and forth, and she says, "Well, sometimes people only seem determined upon one course because they have been offered no other options." And he's like, "Well, what of your duty?" And she's, well, the rubbing may need further studying, she says. And Sazed cannot be what she wants. And she's like, I've had enough of men and childbearing in my lifetime. I've done my duty. That's not what I'm here for. I want men to stay away from me. And she really resents kind of men.
I'm sure,
from what I can see here. And she's spent the last years alone. Barely meeting with the keepers. She's frustrated by all of their planning and none of their action. They're just trying to maintain instead of doing something. Oh man, is he? And she says that he's the only one man who has pushed the synod to act, and the one that went on to free them. And she has spent her life studying great kings who fought and men who changed things, and then says, give me an excuse. And he does. I should very much like it if you stayed. Stay, please. And she does. And then a perspective change. Well, to just sum that up real quick, that's
we got
so
that.
Good.
We got to unpack
Sazed deserves the world.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's so good to see him get out of his own way a little bit in some regards and accept this and accept someone else in his life, and I'm happy for the guy.
Me too. Yeah, absolutely. I'm cheering woo, God says it. Yeah, happiness. Got some warmth for fuck's sake.
I know. I was cheesing hard and shedding some tears
also
here.
For Tinwil, a little bit by this point, I'm rooting for Tinwil here, too.
For sure.
Definitely dark, messed up background, and just to see her find, I think, the perfect place to be is also pretty sweet, because she's lucky to be hanging out with my buddy Sazed.
Sazed is the man.
Yeah, dude, for sure. He is.
So, all right. We do have a perspective change. We're going to Elend, and he's up on the wall with Ham. And Ham is in his vest and his sandals. I love that look. I think I'm actually going to steal that this summer. And Elend has been up here for hours. And the soldiers have told Ham, hey, Elend's up here. And so he comes and checks on him. And Ham says that, he himself doesn't want to be commanding men. And Elend thinks, kind of surprising himself a bit that he does. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I this is what I want to be doing. And Ellen's still wearing his crown, and the Koloss have still not attacked Straff or Set or the city, obviously. And maybe Jastes, Hastes, Yastes,
Jastes,
Hostes is keeping them in check.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
Ellen has realized that arrogance is the thing that he's been missing in his reign, but says it is needed for a king. And so something's happening out in the distance. Nearby soldiers on the wall report that Set's and Straff's men have been getting into more and more frequent skirmishes. And Ellen's thinking here, like, I just need a little more time. And so he walks away, hand on his pommel, as Tynwell has taught him. And Ellen's actually thinking, because he had a recent lesson from Tynwell, and he's thinking that it was likely his last, and that that lesson is that there's no one mold to being king. And Ellen thinks of the Ska and not abandoning them, and how much of an idealist he is, and that he was never really a good nobleman. But all of this culminates with an idea, a light bulb going off, turning on, but it's actually turning off on this chapter because that's the end of 37.
Boom! That's the end.
So, really the only thing I want to comment on there is like the skirmishes between Set and Straff's men.
Oh, yeah. What do you think of that?
Ellen has kind of been pushing for this, right? Like, he wants them to attack each other instead of attacking the city. So, like, a little bit, there's obviously some tension and stress out in the rank and file.
Enemy of my enemy, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the vibe there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. So I just don't know, I guess, what that's about. And, it certainly could be to Ellen's benefit if they continue. So
I think so, right. Yeah. Lessen the troops on both sides, please.
Please.
Yeah. All three, preferably, especially that third side. Fuck. Oh, man, yeah, it's good. Oh, man, great chapter. I think the tail end is like, it's just kind of funny. It has a funny place in the chapter with how the first part goes, but I don't know where else it's supposed to go. So, I trust him. I trust the placement, but it's kind of funny, it's like, oh yeah, this amazing thing, and then, oh yeah, like Ellen's thing, like focusing on arrogance and like an understandable arrogance, he says, but like I liked that part just about how he recognizes that he needs to change.
Yeah,
I think that's good.
I think as we're moving through the book, obviously, I think Sanderson's wrapping up some. We're getting to the end of this part, right?
Yes.
Which is what, part 3? I think, part 3. Yeah, because this is the last chapter in part 3. So
correct, 30.
He's really got to get some things moving, and so I think here he is setting up very quickly for, hey, here's some movement with these characters you're not seeing a lot of. Yeah. And, Ellen's got some idea, and we're going to see that idea here in the next chapter.
I think so, yeah. You're like on the edge here.
Just a little sprinkle.
Oh, man. It's a good chapter. I'm excited.
Yeah, I know you are.
If we got a sprinkle, that means we got a snack, because we probably got a cupcake with sprinkles on it.
Ooh.
All right, I'm just going to dive right in. This is the problem. Though I believed in Alendi at first, I later became suspicious. It seemed that he fit the signs, true, but how can I explain this? Could it be that he fit them too well?
Yeah, I feel like we definitely have already seen this when we were getting the full transcription, or at least part of the transcription from Sazed.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm having trouble, I think, wrapping my head around, could it be that he fit them too well? Like almost like, I guess he was playing into them, like he knew maybe he knew the signs and was trying to, like
Alendi was acting the part to say, okay, yeah, no, interesting.
An idea.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's a good idea. Oh yeah, that's what we're here for. Shards and Shenanigans.
Ideas.
Yeah.
For people to hear our ideas. That's we did this whole podcast just so we could have someone
listen to
our ideas.
I just wanted to hear your ideas. I'm stoked about it, man. It's dope. Here I am.
Thanks, buddy.
Here I am.
It's just you and Lance out there. You and Lance.
Dude. Oh well, no. That's
shout out Lance.
Oh man, shout out to Lance. Plenty of other listeners out there, though.
That's true. That's
new
true.
ones, old ones. It's good stuff. I mean,
all right.
Plenty for me. More than one was a lot. All right. 38.
Cool. Chapter 38. So we had our snack. It's out of the way. And this is really the... we'll call this like a 3-course dessert to end out the part here because there's a lot going on.
I love to hear it, man. Yeah, it's my... I wanted to say it's my second favorite fight in the book, and it's only because another fight. There's just someone else that I'm really looking forward to, but I was very looking forward to this chapter.
Nice.
Yeah, it's right up there and close. It's a close one too.
Let me throw this in. So we're obviously ahead in our recording, and then we're doing some editing on the back end, so we're listening to some older episodes. And I just listened to an episode where when Vin and Tindwyl.
Oh, Tindwyl, okay.
And Alarion, and they all go shopping. And
yeah, good idea.
I had talked about in that episode how I thought maybe Alarion was an Alamancer and maybe she was rioting Breeze's emotions.
Oh, right.
And you were just kind of like, yeah, okay, yeah, maybe, and as we talked about, obviously earlier, I don't know if that was earlier this episode or last episode or whatever, when Vin sees him, or sees her kind of join the group Clubs and Breeze down in the kitchens in their booth. Yeah. And she's like, oh yeah, she's an Alamancer. She's doing something to Seize it, or I'm sorry, to Breeze.
Yeah, right.
And so like, I just feel like, yeah,
dude, you should.
I got one.
I tried to play it cool as I could, because I'm not gonna be like no.
Yeah, of course.
But like,
you do a great job of playing it neutral.
No, man, there's some good edits in some of those episodes. No, I'm playing. No, I try my best. Thanks, I appreciate that.
No, you're doing good. So I just wanted to call that out. That made me feel good, like I was doing it right.
Dude, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, good call out. And you know what? Right. I love all the theories. The more theories, the better. Because, you're doing it right.
Yeah. I've had some winners and I've had some major losers.
I mean, I think it's all what you put into it, though. I don't know, man. I think
that's true.
It's good. They've been good. They've been good instincts. They're kind of just they go the way they go.
All right, let's do it. 38. So you all know what day it is. It is Crown the King of Luthadel Day, baby.
That's right.
And Vin, perspective here.
Oh, hail the king!
It's assembly time, and she doesn't know how Ellen looks so calm. And she feels like she's gonna poop herself. Like that's, she's nervous, and Ellen just seems like he's confident and like he knows what he's doing. And he tells her she's looking mighty fine, and she just kind of shrugs it off and is surprised at how natural wearing these gowns feel for her again.
Right.
As a reminder, she stopped wearing them because Ellen proposed to her. And
kind of like timing wise for sure.
So Ellen likes her however she is dressed, he says. Yeah. And she goes, well, you know, we never did get that dance. And he agrees that things have been busy and they haven't had time lately. But once he's king, think he's going to fix some things.
This dance
things are going to
totally
slow down, because that definitely happens in life. Things just slow down and get easier. And so Vin jumps. She's got a little scare here. Her misty senses are tingling. And she doesn't know what's bothering her and that there's just a wrongness in the air. And Ellen says that he has a surprise, and she is kind of shooketh. She is not expecting a surprise from him, and she's kind of thinking, oh, great, another thing he's planning behind my back.
Oh,
and it's just, more lack of communication here between the two.
Right.
And he says it involves her reputation, and he was going to ask her permission, but ... and then I have in my quotes, or not quotes, but in my parentheses, just like Zane said, right? Like, she's just a tool, and he's just using you.
I know, right.
And so it doesn't change anything between us, he means. And, like, what does that even mean? Like this crazy thing, this thing that I can't tell you about because we're getting ready to start, it doesn't change anything between us. Like, sounds like it does.
Yeah, right. Yeah, certainly. It's a little sketch.
And she is feeling betrayed here, and so she sits down at the back of the stage by herself. Ham's out in the crowd with the ska. Breeze is in the back with some soldiers. She's feeling pretty naked here and alone. Yeah. And she references not knowing Kelsier's full plan back in the day, and then, like, how she felt when she finally found out about it, and she's kind of feeling that way again.
Yeah, everything kind of collapsing around her, like falling apart.
Yeah. Penrod gets things going for the group. He offers Set the podium, and Set's like, nah, dog, I've made my offers and my threats. And so he's good. He's got nothing to say. And so Vin is scanning the crowd again, and she sees now that Ham is sitting with Dumo and another guy. Oh, who is that guy? Oh, yeah. He followed me in the market. He's one of the priests of the Survivor.
Oh.
And it hits her like a brick wall, or a dodgeball to the face in third grade PE.
Yes.
That what Ellen was talking about is that he has joined the Church of the Survivor.
Yeah.
Which, like, she's basically a like prodigy in, or like a deity.
She's definitely like worshipped. Yeah, she has like, I think, like a name for her and stuff.
So she actually thinks, despite all the bad connotations here, she thinks it is clever of Ellen, and that this could actually get him the votes he needs.
Right.
And she's
sees
worried
the
about
tactical advantage.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, it's good that she can get past the emotional and see logically where things are going.
Yeah.
But it is worried that it's costing him his integrity by getting into bed with these guys.
Right.
And more thoughts here.
He probably really believes in himself. He knew Kelsier and think he was a god. He thinks anyways, yeah. I think you're right.
And, like, while he might think Vin's a god in his eyes because, like, they're together, it's not because of what she does, like...
Oh, certainly. Maybe a little bit she killed the Lord Ruler, but...
That's true.
There's that.
Shout out, Vin.
Yeah.
So thoughts of Zane again here, being the knife, and then that's when she notices it, right? Men edging up around the side of the room.
Yeah.
So quick little time warp. And a perspective change where Ellen is finishing his speech with, by the blessing of the survivor himself, ...
Nice.
And then here we go. It's go time. So we're going to roll. Someone from the audience shoved past a guard, pulls out dueling cane. Ellen's like, what's going on, man? I'm confused. But despite that, his training has kicked in, and his new dueling instincts are here, and he rolls and ducks away and scrambles off. And Vin is like literally flying over people to get to Ellen, and gets over him. It slams feet first into this guy that's coming for Ellen. And at this point, it's erupted into chaos.
Oh, yeah.
Vin tells Ellen, hey, stay behind me, which, I mean, I get it, but I'm sure he's kind of feeling like a little, I don't know, maybe embarrassed or like less than, or...
You think so, though?
I feel like he... Well, I think he wants to be...
Vin, like, who is better to protect him than Vin?
Yeah, I just feel like he wants to be a protector, right? Like, I feel like he wants to be able to do something for her.
Yeah, I think to a degree. Yeah, you're definitely not wrong.
To a degree, maybe.
But I think at the same time, I mean, it's Vin. Who's gonna protect you better than Vin? I don't know.
Nobody. So, 3 groups of armed men are moving throughout the room. One's attacking the guards at the front row in front of the stage. One's climbing onto the stage to come for them. and one is occupied by something in the crowd. Maybe it's Set's soldiers, who knows. The guy that has attacked Ellen is back up, and he's unfazed. A thug we see, and Ellen thinks that, these are assassins. And he is now joined by, this guy is joined by his 5 friends, so there's 6 guys that Ellen and Vin now have to fight, and they're now surrounded by them. And it's just Vin and Ellen here, and Ellen hears Vin growl.
Yeah.
So real or sewer move of you, Vin.
Right. Hanging out with dogs too much.
Yeah. Dude, for sure. And we get a perspective change to Vin, and the fight's on. So
it goes, she snapped. It goes, Vin snapped forward, which is like a dog kind of. I mean, yeah. Anyways,
yeah.
Dope,
dude. So she's on the attack. Daggers are out, ready to slice and dice. 3 of the guys were obviously thugs, probably wearing vests with no undershirts. I'm sure that's how she figured it out. And the other 3, that was a ham joke.
Yes, dude. Hell yeah.
The other 3 would then likely be coin shots or lurchers. And so Vin pulls Ellen's sword out of his hands, and with her ability, she doesn't like grab blade and pull it away from him. And then she also pulls the sheath out of his hands and shoots them both forward, and they're deflected back and forth, kind of between them, and they eventually spin out into the fleeing crowd, which is this crowd's just in hysterics now.
Right.
And the group here that's attacking them definitely knows that Vin wouldn't want to use her coins, as there's too many bystanders, and it's going to be hard to protect Ellen, when the coins are trying to be pushed back. And so, they're just kind of coming through with their brute strength, using the thugs first.
Right.
And she's attacked here by a thug, is able to disarm him, steal one of his clubs. And Ellen's got his dueling cane out now, and he's backed up against a wall, which Vin's like, yep, good, like that.
Yeah.
And a group of assemblymen are huddled in the corner nearby with guards, and they're not helping. So shout out to the assembly. Love our politicians. You guys are the best.
Did they have any like wives they threw in front of them?
Yeah.
They're like, what? All right, sorry.
No, it's
go ahead.
On the nose there. And so 2 more thugs are attacking, and she breaks one of their legs. Heck yeah. And the other attacks are here. And Ellen comes in, and he kind of attacks. Gets a little parry in. Great. Love that.
Yeah,
but he's easily repelled. This pewter burning thug is, too strong of a
probably
match
tough
for him.
Right.
And Vin here goes now to prevent Ellen from this further attack, and she sees now that coins are shot at them, and she waits to the last second to try to split them evenly around her and Ellen, kind of at the wall. That way no one around, she doesn't deflect them out in the crowd. And one gets her on the shoulder. Ouch.
She's taking some damage on this fight.
Yeah. HP is going down for sure. And she didn't really sense coins on the coin shots earlier, so she doesn't at first know where they came from, but now she sees an assemblyman in the corner kind of cowering, and he's been forced by one of these coin shots to give up his coin pouch. And so that's where they came from.
Got it. Of course. Fucking
thanks,
rich.
Politicians.
Again.
Yeah. Paying for wars again. And so she needs to surprise them. And so the closest thug hits her, and she just takes it. She feels her ribs crack, but she burns through her pewter by blasting it with the duralumin.
Nice.
And the wood just shatters against her, and then she just rams a dagger right into his neck. So that's pretty cool.
That was sweet.
I thought that was sweet.
There's a couple cool moves this fight. She's like breaking the magic system in a lot of ways. Like as far as people know it, they're not. She's using a metal that nobody knows about, and abusing the system in a Mistborn way on top of it. It's just The Mistborn is so powerful. Yeah, that's cool.
Gotta give it to her. But the pewter's gone, and
Yep, that's right.
she is now hit with intense pain, and she is able to rip the dagger out of the thug's neck and then get it into the coin shot that's next to him, right into that coin shot's chest. So great.
2 down.
2 down here, plus the one who has the broken leg.
Yeah, right. Capacitated.
And so she's thinking 1 thug and 2 coin shots left, and a coin shot fires some coins at Ellen. She pushes them away, and she tries to get some more medals down from one of her vials she's pulled out of her dress.
Yes.
But the second coin shot has pushed it away,
Right.
spraying the contents on the floor.
That's like their thing, man. Like prevent you. Fuck.
Yep. And so she's getting fuzzy and weak, and she really can't think, and she's really kicking herself here for exposing herself by using the duralumin. Yeah. And a thug's staff is coming down at her, and it's kind of, this is it, right? But our fucking man, the G, or Sur, slams into the thug.
This is the best.
Or Sur gets punched in the head. His skull cracks.
Right.
But Vin's able to at least grab the club and smack the thug in the face, and he kicks her feet out from her. She falls right next to Ursur, who's just smiling at her like, what's up? Right. And like any good dog, dude, you know, like just like, oh, we're in danger? I don't know. Ha ha ha. You know, loving life. And so his flesh pocket on his shoulder opens.
On the shoulder, dude, yeah.
There is a vial inside, and so she grabs it and downs it.
Game on.
And she's got her pewter back, baby, so she's feeling rejuvenated. She's got her 5-hour energy, and the thug here is surprised when Vin punches him so hard. And we've got more coins flying at Ellen. She pushes them away again. Ursur hits the thug from behind, surprising him, while Vin attacks from the front. And she rams her finger into his eye, and that pops out. And then she crunched his chest in, and he dies. So, you know, casual.
Yeah. It's pretty intense, man.
It's no big deal, man. We see this kind of stuff every day in the streets. So, you know.
Crunch chest.
Yeah, that's normal behavior. And yeah, the 2 remaining coin shots here, you know, the thugs are taken out, and we've got 2 remaining coin shots. They're attacking Ellen with dueling canes, and he's actually holding his own against these 2 guys coming at him.
Yeah, because they like aren't like enhanced in that way necessarily. Yeah, you're right.
And they're distracted because they keep like looking at Vin to see like, is she coming for us? Is she coming for us?
Certainly.
And she is, because she batters both of them with a club, and they die. So it's like, oh, sweet, like, battle's over, but it's not. Broken leg thugs back up, and he grabs her from behind, and she was checking on Ellen, and that's when he got her. And so he starts, you know, he's on top of her, choking her out, and she's having all these flashbacks to beatings she's taken by Cayman and Reen. And Ellen tries to hit him with his staff, or maybe his dueling cane, but this guy doesn't even wince.
Right.
And you know, her light's fading, and you know, she thinks she has. This is like the most interesting thing I think almost about this entire chapter. Yeah. She says or thinks, I've seen this guy somewhere before.
Yeah.
So like, you know, we'll get to the fight in a minute, but like, who is this guy, and how has she seen him before? Like, you know what I mean?
Where have I seen this man before? Right.
I think that's really interesting. And we don't get an answer through the rest of the chapter, but
no, I don't think we ever do. Yeah, where have I seen this man before? I think she just like is dissociating from, you know, like, because she's losing touch. Right after this, her vision darkens as he's squeezing the life out of her. Is it like her consciousness being like becoming amnesic?
I think it's someone we've seen before.
Oh,
that's coming to attack her. You know, like, I think a good thought is, right, like, we know that Straff was going to send Zane with a army, a whole like platoon or squadron of Alamancers to attack, right? Like all of him and his half siblings to come in. So like, is it just someone that looks like Zane and looks like Elend? Because she did finally notice, right, the similarity in features between Zane and Elend when it was finally revealed to her. So is this just another brother?
So you think
like
this
in the
is
mix?
You think this is Zane right now?
I think. Well, I don't think it's Zane, but I think it's like his group.
Okay. Got
like
it.
It's the Alamancer
his
squad.
Alamancer assassins. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Legit. Okay. I'm smelling.
I think that's what she's saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And so she uses the new duralumin that she has now in her body from the
Orseer pocket,
and expels all of her pewter again. Which, this
is the best. Dude.
I don't know. I mean, it's the best, but also like stop using it all. You might need it.
Yeah, fair. I mean, it is bad. Pewter's a rough one because the feedback from overusing it for so long and having it just like maintain your whole consciousness, your life to a degree at times. And
isn't she like burning pewter all the time just to stay awake, like at night? And
stay awake, to not feel pain, to like get through. Definitely. Yeah, it's it's a rough one, but
it's rough.
What does she do with that pewter?
Yeah, she just headbutts this guy. Comes up,
explodes his face.
Pushes through. I mean, he's like, I'm imagining he's like forcing her down, so she's just able to burn it, push herself up, force his hands back,
right? That
were like locked out, choking her, push them back, and then just smash his face in. And it explodes. His face explodes. His head explodes. Ellen's covered in blood. She's covered in blood. Ellen's horrified. She sees the look on his face and thinks, please no, not you, Ellen, not that look, and passes out.
Man. Yeah, legendary.
Yep. Legend. So we get a slight little time warp and a perspective change back to Ellen. So the assembly hall is practically empty now. Ham says that Vin's going to live. She just needs some more pewter and some care from Sazed. And Elend now is shooketh. He's not used to death and to battles, and talks about only seeing Vin fight once before, and it wasn't like this.
Yeah.
And Ham's like, well, what'd you expect, man? She's Mistborn. She's like an entire army in one person.
Yeah, she fucking kills. Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Like, this is what they do,
said. Man. Yeah.
And
awesome.
he knows that she did it to protect him, but he's still disturbed by it.
Right.
And he thinks that this thought of her doing it to protect him is even a little more disturbing. Like, that makes it more disturbing because it was on his behalf.
Right.
And so he keeps thinking of the image of her walking towards him and her gown covered like in blood.
Right.
And I'm concerned where this is going to go for them.
Pretty sure.
Ham thinks that Straff sent them. I think that supports my theory, certainly. And Set has barely made it out here. Half of his soldiers have died. And Ham is impressed with what Vin did. She fought 6 Alamancers at once while protecting Ellen from them and managing to keep all of the bystanders around them safe.
Yeah, which is amazing.
He's just never seen anything like that before. Like, not even from Kelsier,
Well, Kelsier would just, like, he didn't put himself in that situation, but he also, like, would go all out and just kill everything. Like, it was much more destructive. I don't think he tried to kill Scott, though, ever.
No. And so Ellen asks about, hey, do you remember, like, when she saved Breeze and he was coming back, like, from Set's camp? Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm pretty sure I saw her throwing horses Like, did you ever see anything like that before, Ham? And Ham's just like, nah, dog, never.
Yeah. Right.
And so a messenger approaches, invites Elend to Lord Penrod's mansion for the vote. They have waited to the last day the assembly has here, and if they don't vote today, Elend keeps the crown. So Ham has concerns about assassins, and Elend says, well, I can't rely on Vin. I can't rely on her all the time. Off they pop.
Yeah.
They're gonna go.
They pop.
And I mean, we're wrapping it out here, man. Time warp to the mansion.
Well, here we go.
And the vote's on. So Penrod votes for himself. Makes sense. Nordine, who I believe is a former obligator.
Norden?
He is the one that was studying with them, and Ellen studied.
Yeah, Norden,
and was a converted
totally
obligator, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay, so him and 3 other scribes are bearing witness, which is according to the laws.
That makes sense.
And Ducaller votes for Penrod, Hobrin votes for Set, Phylan votes for Penrod, which Ellen cannot believe. We thought Phylan's whole thing was to vote for Set. We thought he brought Set into the city. Ellen is very confused by this. Right. The next few merchants votes for Penrod as well. And Phylan is just smiling at Ellen. And right. Ellen's working through it in his head. Trying to figure out, like, what did I miss? What am I missing? Ellen does get a vote here from Hawes. Hawes is a firm believer in the Church of the Survivor.
Yeah, the Scott faction.
Elend knows that a price will have to be paid for an allegiance with the church, which is just going back to what what Vin was thinking.
Right. Totally.
And the brothers, Jaston and Thurts, they're canal workers. They vote for Penrod, and there's 2 votes left, and they vote for Elend. And so it's a deadlock. 15 for Penrod, 2 for Set, 7 for Elend, and Elend is relieved. And Harbin raises his hand and is like,
Harbin.
Hey, can I change my vote? I voted for Set, but obviously he's not going to win, and I just kind of want my vote to count for something since Set's going to lose. So,
I vote for Penrod.
Yeah, can I change? And Penrod doesn't actually know the rules and has to ask Elend here, which I think is like, with this whole scene, is very poetic and
certainly.
It just I don't know.
Well, Elend will will Elend stick to his principles and be honest about the law, or will he feign ignorance and let it be a lock, right? And so
sure. I think that for me it's just like, here's this guy that's about to win, and he has to ask Elend how this government's run and what are the rules, like who actually knows how to run this government and what the rules are, and I think it just shows this it just shows where maybe things should be, and kind of the irony of you have to ask.
Right? Because he doesn't know, because he doesn't care. He doesn't care. That doesn't concern him. All he cares about is power and influence, and he doesn't care about the rules because he hasn't had to.
He's played, not necessarily a friend to Ellen, but someone who maybe wasn't as harsh as some of the other nobles left in the city, and so it's interesting to see where this is going to go. But let's wrap it out.
All right.
So no one knows the clause, as you're saying, except for Nordine, who kind of nods and winks to Elend, indicating, hey, I'll keep my mouth shut for you, buddy. And Elend is more noble than that. He admits that he can change his vote. Everyone actually can once, but it must be done before the winner is announced. And Haberin changes to Penrod, and Hugh, the other person who voted for Set, also changes to Penrod. No one else speaks up. 17 for Penrod, 7 for Elend. And Penrod says, and I quote, I officially close the voting and humbly accept your appointment as king I shall serve as best I can in this capacity. End quote. And Ellen stands, removes the crown, sets it on the mantle, and him and Ham leave. That's it.
Without looking back at the men who had discarded him.
Mm-hmm. It's rough. It's a big loss for the crew.
Dude.
And so that's the end of part 3.
Dude, it's big medicine, man. I love that. I love that chapter. It's so good. It's great action, and then just like slap in the face, like Ellen can't do it, man. So yeah, well, Penrod, we'll see. It's not set.
No, it's not set, which I think is good. But I feel like Phylan is he was tricky there, and he's up to something, and so we don't know. I guess don't know what's going to actually happen. So
right. Yeah.
So I mean, let's recap it. Right, what have we learned? We've learned that Olron's an Elemancer. We've learned that our favorite crotchety old member of the crew is not the
not the Khandra.
Clubs is not the Khandra.
Right.
We learned that Dumeau is likely not the Khandra, and he is practically leading the Church of the Survivors.
Yeah, he's big into it.
Yeah, he's preaching, and there's all these rumors going around about the deepness basically, and green plants and the sun, and
right.
We don't really know who leaked that out and how that got out there.
Right. Well, we later learned that the deepness wasn't defeated but weakened in that passage.
Sure.
Which I don't know. I don't know if we learn it now, but we were reminded of it at least. But I think that's important.
Well, that goes to what Rashek was saying at the end when he as the Lord Ruler is being killed.
Yes, yeah,
where he says. Right. You don't know what I do for humanity or for the world, right?
Right.
I keep it at bay. Who. So yeah, if it's not defeated,
if it's not the deepness, then what is it? Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I hear you, because it seems pretty clear, right? That's the threat, but we don't know that outright. So
yeah. What else do we know? We know that Says and Tindwell are
oh yeah, dude,
super cute. Loved that. That was a good little.
It's a great chapter.
You needed some positivity before you crushes people's faces in a chapter.
There was chests and faces.
Yeah. So that was good.
Oh, man.
We've seen some strife between Set and Straff's men in the field, and what could that lead to?
Right.
And then obviously this last chapter here, we're seeing Ellen's downfall as king, and the assembly going basically against him here. We're seeing Vin basically have her best performance as an Allomancer. Yes, she used a secret weapon and is, like you said, kind of breaking some natural laws of Allomancy,
changing the game,
and changing the game for sure.
She's pub stomping the crowd, man. She showed up with the really expensive magic deck, and everybody's paying the price.
Yeah. Something I think we need to consider. We've got Set in the city. He has lost the vote, but he is now inside your walls. So, what does that mean?
Right.
And then I think the big thing that maybe is glanced over, but is I think probably one of the biggest things we're going to see out of this chapter for future chapters is Vin and the thoughts that Zane has put into her head that we're creeping in about being used, being a tool. And, I haven't really been coming up with any ideas here about this. And I had this week as I was reviewing some other episodes. I have a feeling that Vin is going to leave. She's going to leave Luthadel. She's going to leave Ellen. I don't know if it's going to be before all these battles, after these battles, but she's still got this, thumping in her head to the north. And I think she's probably going to go off on a little journey. And I think her and Zane are going to go off together. And I think that's obviously going to end poorly. Probably, some kind of fight for power between her and Zane or something would be my guess. But I think that's where this is heading, is like them going off to the north together, and her kind of leaving Ellen behind so she can go figure out some stuff she needs to figure out.
Yeah, dude, I love it. Yeah, hell yeah. Love to hear it.
So, awesome chapters. How about you? What do you think?
Oh, man, awesome chapters. Yeah, riding the high off that fight for sure. Second favorite fight in the whole book. But fucking good one. And yeah, here for Team Says. Team Says Will. Swazel. I don't know. Whatever Says and Tin Will is combined. I'm here for that.
Yeah, I think Says, as we talked about last book, kind of a favorite character, and then Ursur this book. Like basically anyone that is like Vin's main like hype man.
Yeah, for sure.
Is like that's who I'm about.
Thumbs up, yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right, sweet. I'm excited to see book 3. Who your favorite? Yeah, that's awesome. I agree. So, I'm here for Ursur. Great Ursur content in this one. I mean, loving that. Yeah, man, it's a good time.
So, I mean, we've wrapped out now part 3, closing out chapter 30.
What's the name of the next part?
38. 38. So yeah. The next one is called Knives.
Knives.
And what I'm thinking is that there's going to be a lot of backstabbing.
Dude,
we've got
a lot of backstabbing, huh?
We've got Penrod in charge. Phylan's got this creepy smile on his face. Set's in the city. Straff's outside. The Koloss are coming. Everyone's vying for power. There's a Khandra loose amongst the crew. Like, yeah. I think this is the time for people to. People are either turning on each other, or we've got a double agent or a triple agent, or the double, like double
you
cross.
Think possible triple? Okay,
yeah. Who knows? I think that's where this part's gonna be. That's what I interpret when I hear Knives.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, we're here. We're in the Sander Lynch now. As far as I'm concerned, that fight for me is like the tip of the Sander Lynch. But I think I'm so hyped about it, so that's why. Like, if that's not the beginning, I don't know what else is. That part is sick.
Cool.
And yeah, I think one last thing, we got a Koloss army hanging out there as well. The demon armies of the Lord Ruler. So, yeah. Nothing to shake a stick at, no matter what happens with any of the humans. Koloss armies are pretty scary. So,
very scary.
It's going to be nuts.
So, I guess we'll have to read and find out.
We got to read and find out about Knives on Shards and Shenanigans.
Yeah. So, well, thanks for hanging out, and we appreciate everybody listening. Thanks for sticking with us, and we've been delaying this specific recording, so I've had these chapters read for like a hot minute, and so I am very excited to be able to read a couple chapters.
At
least it's not as bad as the last book when we were doing like a chapter at a time. So this is better. Let's read
a chunk. I'm excited for you.
We'll plan out a chunk. We'll let you guys know what to read for the next episode next week on what you guys need to have down the hatch. That way you can enjoy along spoiler free. And the very excited. And then, of course, what do we need to do?
Dude, we need to say thanks, Moms.
Thanks, Moms.
Shout-outs.
Madres.
Shout-outs. Yeah.
In honor of Cinco de Mayo, which is tomorrow. A little hint on when we're recording this.
Hola.
Hola. So shout out to the mothers and shout out to our fans. Shout out to our families, and all of the people that help and support us. We appreciate all of you, and we appreciate our pets, and we appreciate
your pets.
Just a lot of things in life.
Like your animals.
Yeah. Like Orsurs.
Yes, totally. Absolutely. We appreciate the Orsurs.
Yep, the Orsurs in the world. So, but anyway, I think that's it for me.
That's it for me. I was today years old where I realized that I'm all about Ham. He's the man.
Ham is the man. I'm digging his, like I said, I'm digging his style. And, yeah, I think I'm going to go vest, sandals.
I just realized that's why I cut off all the sleeves on my t-shirts.
That's why.
I should be like Ham.
Yeah, that's
Think
why.
tank. Yeah, man. Love it.
That's cool.
All right. Shards and Shenanigans.
We're out, fellas and ladies.
Cub Scouts and all the Scouts.
Peace.
Peace.